Hey gang, I just want to talk to you guys about falling in love with the process rather than the outcome. And this applies to really broadly, very much anything you talk about, any sort of endeavor that you take. And it's this idea of the process, the grind. Let's talk about it in the context of rowing, for instance. So when you talk about rowing, you have the rowing stroke. It's one stroke, you do it over and over and over again. And if you focus on the process, which is working on your technique, making sure you go legs, then back, then arms, that whole process, just refining that technique, perfecting that one stroke, you'll get pretty far. But if you focus on the outcome, which is what your split looks like, or how quickly you row that 500 meters, or that 250, whatever you want to talk about, the outcome, the speed, that is a nice, fun result of the process. But if you don't focus on the process, and if you shift your focus then to the outcome, which is the speed, you put yourself in a sticky situation. If you focus on the outcome, you're a little bit too far downstream. You can't really control that downstream too much directly, but you can control that one thing that's right in front of you, the process. And controlling the process is all we have. We can't really control the outcomes. If we start focusing too much on the outcome, which is, let's say in this context, that rowing split, if you start focusing too much on that number and on that monitor in front of you, your technique is probably going to go to garbage. But alternatively, if you focus on your technique, if you don't stop getting distracted by those numbers, and you focus on what you're doing, what your body's doing, what you're going through space, and as you apply pressure, that technique will support a faster split. And so that's just one example of focusing on the process, not the actual outcome. And this applies for businesses as well. If you're startup business, they start making this really cool product, start experiencing a lot of success, but once they get to a certain point and they start making some money, then maybe the leadership changes and the focus of the company is getting that bottom line up rather than getting that good product out. And if you're focusing too much on that bottom line, you start losing sight of, and you begin to lose sight of like what got you there, which is making a cool thing, that process. That's where things stagnate. And I just want you guys to consider the idea of falling in love with the process, because that's all we have. There's a quote that from the Bhagavad Gita, I believe, and it's, we have the right to our labors, but not the fruits of our labors. And I like to think of that every once in a while when I'm going through the grind of lifting, or doing some yoga or doing my meditation when I don't really feel like it. It's the process that you have the right to. The benefits of that process may come, they may not. But you can't fall in love with the fruits of your labor. You have to enjoy what you're doing just because that's all you can do. So I want you to think about that. Maybe while you enjoy the process, or as much as you can, of some box breathing. Bye.